Now it's time to press buttons and talk with Maggey and ProZD.
Okay, press it again, I guess.
Okay. The tiger's trying to pin the crime on Maggey. If I ask him about what he saw, it's only going to damage our case. What do you mean things would have been over and done with?
Are you saw there or what? I'm talking about the cash. I was there to get my $100,000 back, that's all. I'm a businessman. It was all coming together before that waitress got in the way.
As far as I can tell from the witness's testimony, other than recouping his loan, Mr. Tigre had no motive for killing the victim. Well, Mr. Wright, are you happy with the testimony, or would you like it amended?
Okay, let's amend it. I'm not going to get anywhere with that testimony as it stands. Your Honor, the defense would like the testimony amended.
Very well. Witness, you will amend your testimony to reflect your racist statements, please.
Okay, wait, so what did this do? I was after the 100,000. I didn't have no other reason to kill the guy.
Yes, so what we need to do here is present McBomber.
But this is like the same statement.
It's the same
as
thing.
The other one worded slightly.
You know, you're gonna have to shoot Takumi, okay? Why don't you just give
hold on a minute. Let me just ring up Takumi for a second. I'm gonna figure this one out.
Yeah.
So you just intended to get back the $100,000 Mr. Elg owed you, correct?
I loaned the guy the cash, so that's my right.
No, it's not. Unfortunately for Mr. Elg, I don't believe the $100,000 is what you are after.
Objection! What are you getting at, Trite? What else would a moneylender be after other than money?
Oh, the moneylender was after money, but money in a totally different league. The kind of money that a single disc like this would fetch.
Money has lost its meaning to me at this point. I've said it too many times.
Money.
What is that? That was Tigre a little bit.
A computer virus, Your Honor. A virus called McBomber.
I just wanted to try sounding tough.
Named after the burger. You didn't sound super tough.
That's because I'm old. A computer virus? What does one of those do?
A computer virus is a program that wreaks havoc on the insides of a computer.
A computer? What does one of those do?
I guess the beard isn't the only part of His Honor that is from the Stone Age. Take that. I'll explain it to you later, Your Honor. Right now, this is the important point. A virus like the McBomber would be worth several $1 million on the black market.
It's several $1 million?
Yeah, mad bucks. Lending money with no hope of ever seeing repayment would normally be bad for business. But in this case, the very fact that Glenelg had no way to repay the money is crucial.
What?
It's crucial. Glenelg was a programmer, a highly skilled programmer. He knew like JavaScript and like CSS and the hard languages. Shockwave is not really a programming language, but okay. That skill was the collateral Mr. Elg put up in order to borrow the money.
He knew Excel.
Well, that's software.
Objection! You're trying to suggest the witness's motive was to get hold of that program?
Exactly.
The witness may have poor fashion sense, but he is by no means an idiot, Trite. A man like him could get his hands on $1 million without resorting to murder.
Of course he could, provided that he had time. But what if he needed the money right then? When the pressure's on, the luxury of choice tends to disappear.
It seems you have a logical conclusion for this theory, Mr. Wright.
Oh, I'm just making
Would
shit
you
up.
care to share it with us? Why did Mr. Tigre need money to the tune of $1 million?
Because he owed... Oh, wait, where is that shit? Is it this?
Yep.
Payment was due last year. Okay. Because of this.
Too much money.
In December of last year, you found yourself in need of a huge amount of money. Like $1 billion, trillion. About 6 months ago, you were involved in a traffic accident, weren't you? An accident involving a car and a scooter in which a young woman was injured. She was taken to the hospital where she underwent surgery.
Where did you get all this info?
These medical papers document the treatment of the young woman in question. According to these, her operation cost $1 million. payment for these expenses was due in December of last year and was paid in full.
Was that a reference to Austin Powers?
Yeah, nice.
I've only seen part of it. But $1 million, a preposterous sum. Someone should sue these HMOs.
Ha! No one would pay a bill like that. If the medical association got wind of it, the hospital would end up as dead as a morgue.
Well, you know, in this day and age.
Ew.
But Mr. Tigre had no choice but to pay, because his very life depended on it.
Boss, is he like a tiger or a man?
Yes, that's been established the whole time. Order, order, order! You say his life depended on it, Mr. Wright.
He has a picture of a tiger, so maybe he's a tiger.
Indeed it did, simply because the injured woman was none other than Viola Cadaverini.
Did you say Cadaverini?
Cadaverini, that's what I said. That's her
That's
name.
a stupid last name.
It's pretty silly. Bruno Cadaverini, mob boss in charge of all the underworld, the whole entire underworld, like Hades from Hercules, activities in the city, and doting grandfather to his precious Violetta, also known as Viola Cadaverini. Jesus, your life was in danger unless you paid compensation to the boss, correct? It makes sense. I wish every argument he made, he just
It makes sense,
with that.
right, everybody?
It makes sense. Well, it does make
All
sense.
together now, it makes sense.
Well, shit, innocent. You were desperate to acquire the $1 million Cadaverini demanded of you. So desperate, in fact, that you decided to sacrifice Glen Elg's life to pay your debt.
Oh, yeah, let's say it again. That makes sense. That makes sense. I don't really get it, though. It doesn't.
On the day of the murder, Mr. Tigre's sole intention was to get his hands on this CD, like a cereal mascot trying to get that bowl of cereal. Glen Elg had no way of paying back the $100,000, and Mr. Tigre knew it. But then a miracle happened. This time, the miracle did happen. The kind that Mr. Tigre would prefer to say never happened, but he can't. Neither can I, because it did happen.
The lottery win.
Yeah, exactly. At the 11th hour, Mr. Elg won $500,000 on the lottery. That does fucking suck. If you have these carefully laid out plans, then, oh, okay. Which left Mr. Tigre with no way of getting his hands on the all-important CD.
Only $500,000 shit.
At least, no legitimate way.
He called him Master Hand.
Master Hand helped him out, called him a favor. So he resorted to illegitimate means.
Master Hand cheat.
That's crazy.
Not with Game Shark.
Crazy Hand.
No. This is just Master Hand. Crazy Hand has been in Malibu for the past couple of weeks with the kids. He murdered, the photos are on Facebook, they're nice. He murdered Glen Elg and then he made his next move. To frame Maggey Bird for the crime. Mr. Tigre posed as Glen Elg, while Viola Cadaverini played the role of Ms. Bird. The reviews, not great, panned by critics. And then they reenacted the whole thing in order to establish a witness. The witness being the one we all heard testify yesterday, Mr. Victor Kudo.
Objection! Like I said, Trite, that's crazy. No one could pull off a stunt like that.
Oh, I can.
For starters, there's no way the chef could have been kept out of it.
Objection! But Mr. Armstrong knew all about it. Have you forgotten already, Mr. Godo? Mr. Armstrong owed the witness money too. $500,000, in fact. He had no choice but to go along with Mr. Tigre's plan.
Oh man, is the episode gonna be 1 episode or 2 episodes? We'll
Man, I don't know.
Order, order, silence.
Thought of a funny joke?
You put on a good show, Spiky.
Better than your show, apparently.
If you want to stay alive in the loan shark business, you gotta be careful.
Well, I'm not in that business.
You
so-
saying I dressed up like that kid, created a witness, and framed someone?
Yeah.
If I did something crazy like that, I'd leave a trail as bright as my shirt.
You did.
I ain't dumb enough to do something sloppy like that.
Yeah, you are. I agree.
What?
Despite your appearance, you are very careful. That's why you took one more precaution. One more trick to make sure Ms. Bird had no way out.
What? Another one, Mr. Wright?
Interesting. Why don't you fill us all in, Trite?
I'd rather leave you in suspense.
What was this trick you say Mr. Tigre
Wait.
performed to frame the accused?
Okay, what did he perform to frame Maggey Bird?
The Twicky.
The Twicky Twick. Oh, Twicky Twix. Oh, it's the, because he fakes the whole,
right.
Pretty ballsy.
What on earth is that? What an insult to think anyone could be fooled by such a childish imitation.
Consider yourself insulted, Your Honor. Mr. Tigre, you didn't just pose as the victim on the day in question. A month ago, in this very court, you posed as me. You got bit by the acting bug, had to do it again.
This is like the boldest Looney Tunes ass.
It is very Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
What? That's...
The truth.
But the witness looks nothing like you, Mr. Wright.
You know? That's true.
Although, now that I think about it, it was you, wasn't it? No doubt it was you, standing in here this very court a mere month ago. The Phoenix Wright who put up the most disreputable, shabby defense I had ever seen.
I thought he did pretty good, though.
It seemed pretty par for the course.
I was actually like,
Can you prove that, Gramps? Prove the attorney who represented the accused here a month ago was this man? Are you prepared to take the stand and testify that it was him? What if he did just let them?
All right, I'll try it. Sounds fun.
You knew better than most of these idiots.
Hey, forget about it, yeah?
Oh.
I wouldn't do something like that. Not me. You made a mistake, right? It was someone else, huh?
Objection! Have you no pride, sir?
Objection! This isn't a matter of pride.
Fuck!
In case you didn't know, Trite, here in court we deal with people's lives.
Is someone making you do that?
No, it's just, I think...
You are committed.
It's like a
to
reflex
bit,
at this point.
I guess, but...
Mr. Gordo is right.
Your Honor?
Speaking for myself, I am absolutely convinced. The attorney in question was the witness standing before me now. However, I preside over this court as the judge, with the vested power to hand down a verdict. Someone in my position cannot be swayed by a memory without evidence to support it.
No! What the fuck?
Yeah, what the fuck, Judge? That's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. Bullshit.
They're actually on my side for once. If the defense has no further evidence, the court will now excuse the witness, even though so much of this was...
I guess it was still Maggey.
The circumstances surrounding Mr. Tigre are dubious for sure, but not conclusive. So Maggey did it, I guess.
All right, I guess Maggey just did it. Whatever. We've come so far.
You say he impersonated Glenn Elg. You say he impersonated you.
Yeah, with all this evidence that I have shown to...
But none of that adds up to a murder charge.
It does.
That was fine. You don't have a shred of evidence that the witness poisoned the victim's coffee.
Nar. I'm Phoenix Wright. I say narg. That's not a word.
Ha! You say narg.
I was upset, guys.
Come on.
Sucks to be you, right?
Sucks to be you.
Don't mess with the tiger, or you're gonna get mauled. You got that?
You probably shouldn't threaten me. And well, all we managed to do
It
was
sucks to
chase
be
him
you.
around a bit.
I win.
Don't go Avenue Q on me.
It sucks to be you. I feel better now.
But I was so close to getting him to admit his own.
What you talking about, right? Your case is old. Ha!
What was that whole thing? I didn't
We all
understand
saw
that.
the show, Jesus.
Looks like I won't be needing a refill.
I don't need a reprise.
If I just had one more piece of evidence, and maybe I could get Maggey off the hook, but it's too bad. It's too bad.
This witness's cross-examination is over. You are free to go, Mr. Tigre.
I guess
Looks
that's
like it's gonna be the end right here.
Well, at least we don't.
That's pretty fun,
At least we
though.
still get chicken tenders.
another big orange power man.
Wait, who's that? Who's that?
What the heck?
Wait, what?
Your Honor, sir. Wait!
I already passed the verdict, so
Detective!
if only you'd left earlier. Detective Gumshoe!
Sorry I took so long, pal.
Well,
I would have been here like 2 hours ago.
We're gonna talk about that later.
Oh, yeah,
ahead.
I know. Yeah, it was my bad. I staked everything on this. My badge, the works. So here it is. My heart's counting on this too.
What is it, Detective?
Isn't it obvious, pal? It's the final decisive piece of evidence.
What?
I think it said the final decisive piece of evidence.
They're like not even. They're not moving. They're not moving. They're so.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's usually little wobbles. What the heck happened? Some animators forgot to program in the wobbles.
Sorry it took so long, pal. But I finally got the results from the lab.
The results?
About the prince, pal, from this medicine bottle.
Oh, so do you know who the prince belonged to now?
Do you think I'm some kind of hack detective? Of course I know.
So? Tell us. They're the tigers, right? I knew it.
You bet. Clear as crystal, all over the bottle. They're Furio Tigre's paw prints, all right.
That's great. We've got him now, Nick. What's wrong with you? You've hardly said a word since Detective Gumshoe got here.
Maybe we should stop it.
Yeah.
here.
Are we not gonna reach the end of the case?
Yeah, I mean, even if we finish it, we can just go on to the next case.
We tried, but
Let's
there's
stop
gonna
it here.
be a new episode.
So, yeah, new episode next time. We'll find out what Phoenix is going to say.
Yeah,
next
he's gonna
time.
say something crazy.
Crazy.
Crazy and wild, like Phoenix Wright. Ace Attorney. Trials and Tribulations. For the Nintendo DS.